Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to PMTC online lecture room. This is me Najia Kamal with the subject English Advanced, and the poem that we are going to study today is Lucy Gray. Let's begin with the author. The author is William Wordsworth, and he was born in 7 April 1770 and he died on 23 April 1850. So he is an English romantic poet, and he also was the one who launched the romantic age with the help of one of his friends whose name is St. Coleridge, or we can also say Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and they both published the lyrical ballad 1798. His famous poems are Solitary April and Ruth. Now let's talk about the summary. Let's begin with a summary. So Lucy Gray was a beautiful girl who lived in a wild moor with her parents. Their house was located in the countryside far away from the city. So they were living in a countryside and they were living in a village, and she was far away living from the city. Nobody neighbored their house, and Lucy lived without having any friends and playmates. In the western countryside, it is said that if the moon is clearly seen during daylight, a storm appears in the area. One day, Lucy's mother went down for shopping in the noon. After a while, her father realized that the moon can be seen and predicted a storm in few hours. He quickly told Lucy to take a lantern and go to the town to help her mother. Lucy obeyed her father and was on the way to the city. So Lucy had to go to see her mother because she went for shopping, because her father told her to go for her. Unfortunately, the storm appeared as soon as Lucy left for the town. It started to snow thickly, that made it difficult for Lucy to see through. As she was wandering in the snowy atmosphere, she fell in a crevice and died. So she fell into a pit, she fell into the snow pit, and then she died. Her mother somehow returned home at night. When the little girl did not come back, her parents went out in the snowy mountains shouting for their daughter, but they never found Lucy. On their way home, they found footprints on a wooden bridge in the middle. They concluded that perhaps Lucy Gray fell down and had died. When we go through the hills, a solitary song, and alone and a lovely, pleasant song is heard in the wind which echoes in the mountain. Some people think that she died that day, while some say that she lives as a part of nature. So we see that Lucy Gray suffered because of her own parents. She went to see her mother, but then the storm arrived, and then it was her aunt. She died while not surviving through that storm. Let's talk about the comprehension. Question 1. What was the response of Lucy Gray to her father? Lucy is affectionate towards her parents. It's very clear because at the end she dies. One day, Lucy's father gives her a work. Her mother had gone out for work. Lucy's father is expecting a storm. He is concerned about his wife's safety. The storm is expected in the evening. Her father gives her a lantern. He asks Lucy to bring her mother. Lucy obeys her father. She agrees to go. She does not think about her safety. The storm arrives early. The mother returns home, but Lucy loses her way. So she dies in a storm. Question 2. What did her father do when she went after her mother? Lucy's father and mother search for Lucy. They cannot find her. They search everywhere. In one place, they find Lucy's footprint. They follow the footprints, but they cannot find the Lucy. Question number 3. How did she walk in the powdery snow? Her feet disperse the powdery snow that rises up like a smoke. The stanza describes Lucy as walking along slowly and carelessly, picking up the powdery snow as she walks and watching it rise like smoke. This description of Lucy helped to continue to paint a picture of a sweet and innocent child. So she was walking through the snow, on the snow, and when she picked up her foot or feet, she could see the snow rising up into the air that could resemble to the image of the smoke of a cigarette. So this is a very pleasant description that could define the difficulty of a child, innocent child like Lucy, or Lucy going on the snow surface in a snowy area. Question 4. Why does could not she reach the town? Lucy did not find any way to go to her home. She is lost. She does not know the way to her home. On her way to the town, she got hit by the snow. The snow and the storm. The storm was expected at night, however, it came earlier. Darkness enveloped everything, and Lucy lost her way. She wandered here and there, but could not find the way to the town or to her cottage. Her parents searched for her, but were unable to find her. So, this is how Lucy lost her way to the town. Question number 5. What did her parents do at night? When Lucy did not return, her parents set out to walking looking for her. They reached for her all night long but were unable to find her. They shouted her name but there was no response to their shouts. Then at daybreak they spotted her footprints and followed them until they reached the river with a broken wooden bridge. So they were unable to find her in the morning. They reached the bridge, but then they found her footprints and the broken wooden bridge as well, and they expected that she has actually passed away while covering up her way through the forest to the countryside. That was all for today's lecture. Hope you have understood. In case of any queries, you can contact us through the email and follow up the contact for the WhatsApp as well. Thank you.